Welcome to the show, everyone. And we have a lovely, lovely show here. And we have Jeanette. Jeanette has returned. How you doing today, Jeanette?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. It's very difficult to get people on the show.
Not a problem.
Awesome. Ronnie, long time no see. How you been?
Good, sir.
Good to see you, man. How you feeling?
Me too. I'm feeling good. How about you?
Doing great, man. I'm
supposed to be like 60-something degrees today. I'm off.
Oh, I'm off too.
Yeah?
Day off. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Guys could play together.
Want to take a nap later?
Fortunately, I got stuff to do.
Oh.
That's why I took off. And this is one of the things, man.
Yeah.
Is doing this. So, got a lovely show here. And in our fashion of the show, we tend to ask questions. So I've been mixing up the questions because I did get some feedback. So some of the people were like, I don't want to hear about superpowers or what you listen to on the radio, or we want to hear some.
Who said that?
We want to hear some weird stuff. So this guy was asking me about some
I know
weird
who you're
stuff,
talking about.
but I can't get super weird, man.
Nobody's as weird as him. So he's in his world all by himself.
But I want his weirdness on the show, man.
I would love to have him on the show.
Love to have him show.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's not ready for that.
He said he's not ready?
I don't know, man. A lot of people playing games. They're playing games with my heart.
That's fine.
They're playing games with my heart. What's that from?
Quit playing games with my heart.
All right, getting a little funky there.
Yeah.
People are probably gonna be like, "What the heck is going on with these guys?"
I don't care what people think.
Me neither, man. That's why
You know
I keep
what I
doing
mean?
what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Why
on
not?
the right path.
Yeah.
Keep tweaking things, changing things up.
Bro, if it makes you happy, do it. I don't care what anyone says.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Godspeed.
I am so tired of walking past people who are miserable trying to tell me what to do to make myself happy.
I know, right?
You know what
It's
I'm
crazy.
saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sorry for cursing.
I don't care, man. But that's the thing. Like, a lot of people tend to like, I
Just
guess,
miserable. I'm so tired of being around miserable people.
man.
I don't want to start it off with like this. Let's
No.
change it up.
Don't worry. We're gonna be bringing
I'm starting
around.
to
But that's so.
I'm starting to
that's
itch
so
my
true.
hands and everything.
My
I'm
gosh.
getting
That's,
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
some
Yeah,
yoga.
I had a rough week.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's been a rough week.
But that's so true though, because what you're taking in from other people, like negativity and stuff, like that affects you. It affects you
Completely.
mentally, emotionally, right?
Right.
Yeah, so much.
There you go. See, we're all on the same page.
Yeah. You just got to navigate around those people. It's like speed bumps when you're driving around. You know what I mean?
Potholes in New Jersey.
Potholes, speed bumps.
Potholes in New Jersey. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. The roads are terrible. And the people are terrible. Why do we live here?
We're here.
We're stuck here.
Come on, man. We're changing people's minds and views.
Yeah.
One show at a time.
I'm trying to.
That's it, man. Keep going. We're just planting those seeds.
Yeah, you got to keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah. The haters are like rabbits that try to eat in your garden.
It's just all about jealousy, man.
You know what I mean? How do they get rid of those rabbits? They shoot them. Now, I'm not advocating shooting anybody.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my
nope.
gosh, this
Not
is
at
opening
all.
a whole.
I'm not a violent person
No violence.
at all.
No violence.
Maybe just yell at them or something. But anyway,
Just yell at them.
All right.
Scare them. Put a scarecrow up.
I'm just want to say I'd be more upset if a rabbit died in front of me than a human. That's where I'm at mentally.
Okay, we need to work on this.
Depends on what human, though. You know what I'm saying? Depends.
Yeah.
Depends.
Are they living and breathing and do they speak? I picked the rabbit.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. First question we got. This is a good one. If people come with a warning label, what would yours say?
That's a good question.
Yeah, right. It's
That
pretty
is
good,
a really
right?
good question. Where would the label be? Like on the front of your shirt?
I guess so. Either the front of your shirt, on your forehead, or
forehead.
in like a bubble.
Okay.
Like a bubble
Yeah.
over you, like one
That's
of those
funny.
cartoony bubbles.
Ladies first.
I think mine would be pretty like G-rated. Like if it weren't for sarcasm, there'd be very few words.
Okay, that's
She
okay.
said G-rated. We know you. Like what the
No,
fuck?
I don't know her. We're trying to get to know her.
I mean, some things I say may be inappropriate, but like
Yeah.
overall, I don't have.
There's not a warning label like
Well, I mean,
resting bitch face or something like. That's a thing, bro.
I've been told my eyebrows can give me a resting bitch face, but like I don't think so. I think I'm easygoing.
Yeah, no, you're chill.
Yeah.
You're chill.
So. Once I'm pissed off, then get out of my way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. guess my warning label will be leave me the fuck alone.
You don't want love, bro? You don't want people to embrace you?
I do, man.
You just want to be left alone?
But that would take somebody that would see that and be like, oh, this person needs a hug.
Do you need a hug?
Not right now.
All right.
Not right now. No, I'm doing good.
That's his
Doing
bumper
good, though.
sticker,
Yeah,
the
doing good.
warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Warning label in the front.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back.
That's all right.
What about you, Ronnie? What's
Oh,
your
man, if I had a
label say?
warning sign, I guess, I don't really know. You know what? That's something you would ask other people. You know what I mean?
Well, since Ronnie here, he can't make up a warning label. Let's make one up for him.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So,
Like you know me,
Okay.
you've seen me before you actually knew me. What do you think? Before you actually knew me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Don't bend over in front of me.
Yeah.
That's going to be your warning label.
I'm more of a laying on the back type of person.
Back to
Legs in the air. You know what I mean?
oh, boy.
No, I don't know. I think my warning sign would be I'm mentally flawed. Please don't judge me.
Mentally flawed.
Yeah.
Please don't judge me.
Please don't judge me.
That's your warning label.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Except all flaws or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Accept all flaws. Yeah. Or like you know how people have like a fall risk bracelet? I should wear a flaw risk.
Oh, that's cute.
A flaw risk bracelet. That's pretty
That's-
good. We should
yeah.
add those to our merch.
Yeah, that could go on your merch.
100%.
Right. All
We're
right.
getting,
Yeah.
we're getting there, man. We're getting
Yep.
there. It's work in
Copyright
progress.
that right now.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Dropping the merch. The Lane Flaw Risk bracelet.
Flaw risk.
So
Yeah.
many people are going to wear those.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make t-shirts.
Yeah, we are. Flaw Risk.
Yep.
That's funny.
Good. Awesome. Alrighty. Moving on. Trucking right along here. If you could pick up a skill instantly, what would it be? I know, right? I know.
That's hard.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's see.
That's a Cindy. That's a show for
That's
Cindy.
a Cindy show. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's
We
okay.
got,
Shout out to
we got the
Cindy.
wrong show here.
Yeah, we got the
Ronnie.
wrong
Don't
show.
worry,
I'm
Cindy.
sorry.
Cindy Jody, be back on.
I'm a
again.
little rusty. Trombone.
Let's see.
Right now, if God just said, here's a skill.
I think that I would really love to be able to sing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
All right. What type of music would you sing? Like opera.
I'd be a rapper. I don't really have.
Hey.
I don't really have like one genre of music that I listen to. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
I think what's cool is when you're a really talented singer, you have a wide verse.
You can
of,
do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, and also like, I don't understand. I'm not into music all that much. So like, there's a lot to understand to becoming a great musician and having a good voice. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like all of that. Like if you're going to try, I want it all, not just
Yeah.
the good voice. I want all that information.
Have you done any karaoke or anything?
I have done karaoke. Yeah. Yeah.
Or are there videos of this karaoke?
There might be. So actually, I have a condo in Hollywood, and there's a place called the Social Room. I mean, they have the most phenomenal karaoke. The people that come out there are so talented.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I had to cut them down a few notches. I had to bring them back to reality.
Right.
I was like, you guys are so spoiled here.
Yeah.
Let me show you what New Jersey has to offer.
Yeah. You said they're spoiled.
Oh.
So spoiled.
You have a house in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And you have a what in where?
I'm not saying I'm not spoiled.
Oh.
I'm just saying that they are karaoke spoiled.
What is it, California?
No, it's in Florida.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
a condo in Florida?
Yeah.
What? It must be nice. What are we doing wrong?
Bad decisions.
Bad
bro.
decisions.
Bad decisions,
Yeah.
man. That's all I gotta say. If I could have a skill, it would be make the right decisions. No, not at all.
Oh shit, that's funny. What would it be if God just was like, Psh,
Artist.
what kind
I'd
of
say
art?
artist.
Like a con artist.
Well, I conned you motherfuckers to come here and do this
I know,
show,
so you
right?
have that skill.
And you
so
think
that's-
you're getting paid.
We should be getting paid. She has a condo in Milano, Italy.
Yeah,
Milan,
I
Italy.
wish.
Whoa.
Is that an actual place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milan, Italy. Absolutely.
An artist, as in like a painter.
Artists, as in, yeah,
Yeah.
drawings and paintings.
Yeah.
My brother was pretty good at that stuff, and it was, it took a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for that for some reason. Yeah. So, what about you, sir?
I think mine would be more like to be a excellent carpenter.
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Building stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because like I have this in my family, we're really big in like home decor. Right? My sister and her husband, they're like amazing interior decorators and outer decorators. So I picked up a lot from them, but I'm limited as far as like to what I can actually build. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So because I'm not that good at math, and I realized that in carpentry, you have to do a lot of math.
There's a lot of math.
It's
yeah.
impressive. I follow a bunch of guys on TikTok who wear like cameras on their hats and they just film their day like building a house.
Yeah.
And how they read the ruler and how quick they are with like all of that like numbers and stuff. It's impressive.
It's just because they've been doing it for so long. I mean, you could do it. It's a skill.
Yeah.
You just have to just
Not really
condition
sure. I needed a math tutor to graduate.
Yeah, but I think that if you actually had honed in that, if you think about when you're in high school,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to
yeah,
math.
you weren't
Right,
interested in it. But once you
Yeah.
actually become interested and put in the effort, you can really do anything you put your mind to.
Inspiring. Oof.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Good
it is.
stuff.
Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. Interesting. Very interesting choices. How are these questions so far?
Yeah, they're good.
Pretty
I
good,
like
right?
them. Yeah.
Pretty
I
good.
like them. Yep.
I'm doing good.
You don't need my approval. You don't need anyone else's approval.
Right.
I don't.
And
No.
until that person comes on here, they shouldn't speak a single word about this podcast.
Well, I appreciate the feedback
King.
and all that stuff.
Whoa.
King of the
What,
hill.
King
what
of the hill.
happened there?
Yeah, what happened there? Come on, King. Come on onto the show, bro. Let's talk.
Love to have this guy on the show. He'd bring so much here, man. It'd be good. He'd actually.
Yeah, but the fact that he hasn't, I don't care what somebody can bring. If they're not here, then they're not bringing it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who
Right.
knows?
Maybe we can get him. You know what happens when the weather gets nice? More people go outside. We should do a show at the park.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, like
We'll do that.
a picnic show.
We are supposed to have a picnic.
We are supposed to have a picnic.
Getting creative. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm not sure about the lighting, but we'll figure it out. Who cares?
Natural lighting.
Our smiles will light up the day.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want people around or just me and you?
No matter. People could just walk around or hang out, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Who care? We'll figure it out. Alrighty. On to the next question. If you could have any celebrity be your best friend, who would you pick? I know, right?
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Because most celebrities let you down when you realize who they really are.
True enough.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man. This is a hard one.
All right. Would you like us to answer before you
Yeah,
answer?
go ahead, please.
I would say Keanu Reeves is my pick.
I just watched a video with him.
Keanu Reeves, if you do get a chance, he's been through a lot of hardships in his life.
Yeah.
You know, his wife dying with his pregnant baby, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Stand-up guy.
But yeah, he rides the subway like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like he talks to homeless people.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. He,
So
he
I-
gave
I-
his seat to a lady in the train.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus his movies and all that stuff too. I think he's pretty good in some of his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and he does train and all that stuff. So he does put in the work and everything. So I think he's a real humble guy and all that stuff. One of these days, I'll just walk around LA. Hopefully, I'll run into him.
Yeah. What would you do if you ran into him? Would you turn into like a fanboy? And be like, oh my God, John Wick. I'm just kidding. Keanu Reeves.
No, I'd probably be like, "Hey, Keanu, how you doing?"
Would you? Just like that?
And just keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You wouldn't stop and ask for a picture or anything? No?
I would want to,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be that person.
No.
Yeah, that's how
I just
I
want
am.
to keep going around my life.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw my childhood, my idol, my favorite boxer at one of the boxing matches one time, he was sitting in the crowd and I saw him right across the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't just not go over there. And I saw people going over to him every once in a while. And he was very like welcoming.
Yeah,
So I went over there, tapped him on his shoulder, and he took a picture with me and everything.
that's cool.
I was so excited. But I did turn into like, he looked like a superhero to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say because what can you say?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I was close. I was close to that moment too. I was in San Diego and I went to Victory MMA, Jocko Willink's gym. He's, famous. Well, to me, he's a famous podcaster, all this stuff, books and all that stuff and everything, man. He's one of the, I guess, the inspiration for me to actually do this show was him. I don't do the show just like his show. It's more of like, like a Joe Rogan type deal and all that stuff, and try to push like some positivity and, health wise and all that as well. But yeah, no, I was there and they're like, they were real cool about it. They're like, yeah, he's here. He's recording the show. And I'm like, oh man. Like I got like super excited. I'm like, man, like what's going on here? And then they're like, oh yeah, go up the stairs over there. Me and my brother go up the stairs and they're like, oh yeah, it's in the locker room and all that stuff. So we go in the locker room and it's a locker room at a gym. Like people are getting changed and all that stuff. And they're like, oh, if the light on the sign is on, that means they're recording inside the room, all that other stuff. But if it's not on, he's probably out and about, getting a drink or doing whatever. So we went up there. I quick snapped a picture in a locker room. People probably thought I was creepy or weird or whatever. Up the sign, I'm like, all right, it's not on. I'm like, oh, he's around here. So I wanted to sit outside the door and just like wait. Yeah. Or like I was even tempted to knock on the door. That's for next time. Next time I go out there, I'll be like knocking on the door. Like, hey,
like who's this who's this
housekeeping? Do you need me to clean up anything here? Yeah.
I saw like an aura. Is that what? Is that the right word I'm using?
I don't know. Continue and I'll let you know. Like
when I saw him.
Oh yeah.
Roy Jones, right?
Yeah.
My favorite boxer. It wasn't like looking at a regular person. He had a glow, and I don't want to sound weird or anything, but it is true. He had like a not human like glow around.
It's the energy, man.
It was so crazy to describe.
Yeah, that's the energy.
Yeah. Can you imagine being like?
I can't imagine.
Imagine somebody looking at you like that. You know what I mean? Like, man, Carl has such an aura about him. He has a glow.
The only thing I could ever think about that would ever look at me like that would be a dog.
Yeah.
Like an animal.
Right. Yeah.
Just because I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think pets look at us like that anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, look how they react when we come home after being gone for a little bit.
Absolutely.
You don't get that type of love from a human.
No.
You get the opposite. You get, did you pick up the fucking, or like, oh, you got to beat your kid today. The whole time you were at work and he was acting crazy. I remember my dad, he would work all day and my mom all day would tell us, wait till your dad gets home. And we'd be like, yeah, all right. My dad didn't even get a chance to get his boots off. And she was already telling him, you got to beat the children. Now think about this. My dad loves us to death. I love him. He was going at work all day, missing his kids. I mean, probably not. Who goes to work all day and misses their kids? I don't know. But I don't have any kids. But anyway, I imagine he loved us enough to miss us while he was at work. The first thing he had to do when he got home is beat us.
Let's define beat too. I mean, we all were disciplined a little bit more harshly than our children are now. I'm the only one that has a kid, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I had the same structure of my family until my parents split up. And like, I think it was more the threat than the follow through.
Right.
Yeah. Like there wasn't a lot of follow through. One time, maybe twice. And you were like, like I can remember my mom slapped me one time. Yeah. I looked at her and I was like, I deserve that. Like, I was a real asshole.
She like slapped you in the face?
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
like,
damn.
Yeah. And I deserved every bit of it. Yeah. So yeah.
We had a Marine Corps leather belt that my dad, it was called the Marine Corps belt. And it was one of those thick brown belts that were just like, it would never like break or anything, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what we used to get spanked with. And my dad would close the door and he would have a talk with us and be like, listen, I'm just going to, and when he comes on here, we'll tell the story and he'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. He used to say, look, your mom wants me to beat you. I don't want to beat you. So act like you're getting beat and I'm going to spank the bed. And he used to do that. And he used to spank the bed and we used to go, no. And then he would leave the room and he would like, yeah, all right, I beat him. And he would just like, just stay in the room for a little while. Yeah. So shout out to my dad for not really beating us.
Yeah. That's what I think you get to a certain age where you Be like, if you just hit me, it would be better than this talk that we're going to have, which is going to make me feel so small.
Yeah.
Like, I got caught smoking cigarettes when I was 8 years old.
Whoa.
I know.
Jeez.
I don't know what was going through my head.
What were your college years like?
Yeah. Well, I followed that trend. But yeah, I don't know why I thought, one, living in a very small town, that like someone wasn't going to see me smoking cigarettes at 8 and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to let her roll with that. That seems like a great future for her.
Yeah.
But I remember when I got caught and I was like, just please like slap me, do something. Cause they're like, we are so disappointed. And I was like, I know, like I knew when I was doing it, you were going to be disappointed, and still I did it. So
Yeah.
You rebel.
8 years old is kind of young to be
Jeez.
smoking.
Troublemaker.
Yeah.
yeah, well, when
One
the
of one of the cool
opportunity
kids.
presents, I didn't know when it was going to happen
I
again.
know.
So
Yeah. Kids will be kids.
yeah, I actually didn't know that you were supposed to inhale. So that's a good thing. I wasn't like inhaling the cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Do you
looking-
smoke now?
So no,
Yeah. Like no cigarettes?
no,
How about weed?
nope.
No? It's legal now.
I know. I just don't prefer it.
You don't prefer it?
No,
Have you ever smoked weed?
I did. I used to smoke a lot of weed.
You smoked a lot of weed? Mm-hmm. We got a stoner on our hands,
Yeah.
boys. Carl, have you ever
Actually,
smoked?
there's two in here.
There's
two in a
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
There's two in a room.
So, it's funny because everyone by me in my life, they're all doing edibles, and I'm not against it by any means. I just can't find that happy medium.
Yeah.
I'm not productive, and I have a very full life, so I can't jeopardize
Right.
not being able to be productive.
Yeah.
So,
I use it to sleep.
that's what my husband does
Yeah.
it to sleep. And that's basically all I can do with it is sleep. So
No, it is a treat. Like after
Yeah.
my day is done and I take it down, just a little bit. I'm not a fan of the edibles as much.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell when it's going to kick in, and that will give me anxiety.
well, it
know what
gets
I mean?
metabolized in the liver versus straight to,
Yeah, it takes like 45 minutes to kick in.
I think that once you have your,
Tolerance?
like you're certain, people take the same thing every day and they know. And,
Yeah.
and
No, like,
that's where I am right now, is that I don't have the time to figure out what works for me.
Yeah.
I need to take a week off, be like, really
Good luck.
invest in my,
Yeah.
Good luck with
I
that.
know.
In your weed
so,
Invest in your health.
yeah. So
Do you smoke weed?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Never done it. All that stuff.
good for
Never?
you, man.
Never ever. Huh?
doesn't surprise me, but good for you.
Well, it was a thing with like lung capacity and all that stuff. And I was an athlete in high school and all
Oh.
that stuff. And
Yeah.
cigarettes and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Any type of smoking or anything that would affect your breathing.
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did drink underage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
so.
I started smoking pot when I was in 6th grade.
Jesus.
So
How old were you then?
What's going on?
8?
I was 12.
Oh, I was gonna say 8
Yeah.
when you bought them cigarettes or still.
What's going on over there? Everything all right?
I lived in a very small town. They didn't really have much to do. My brother was very into pharmaceuticals. So
Yeah.
it was very, accessible. And so I thought, why not?
Yeah. Just kids being kids.
Right. So
That's it. Kids being kids.
yeah.
Just being kids.
So hey, kind of got a little off track there.
Yeah,
We always do
Hopefully,
that.
It happens.
hopefully you've been thinking about your celebrities that you would be your best friend here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys didn't even answer that
I
yet.
know.
I'm
we
sorry.
just
I'm sorry.
derailed the
No,
whole.
no. It was good. It was good. Did you think about it? Do you need to think more?
Yeah, there's a lot, but I actually do admire Trevor Noah from Comedy Central and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
He does the what show does he do?
well, he doesn't anymore, but he was a stand-up comedian. He's from South Africa, and he was on like The Daily Show and spinoffs.
Yeah. Okay, that was the Daily Show. Yeah.
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 So I like him a lot. I think he's really intelligent and just a good mindset. Like he really thinks before he speaks.
Yeah.
But he's also hilarious. Not bad looking. Like he's got the combo.
Yeah.
So
Combo. Okay.
yeah.
There is a combo. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I believe so.
That
I
women
guess there
like
is a
look
combo.
for. My mom said that laughter is the key to any woman's heart.
Making someone laugh or just
Yeah.
laughing at them,
Making.
Yeah. Definitely not laughing.
I'm pretty
at
sure
them.
if you laugh at them, the opposite happens.
or laughing at their
You,
jokes.
you break them down and tear them down, and that's not a good
Right.
thing. Don't ever laugh at a woman. Laugh with her. Like if she falls, don't laugh at her. Just
No, yeah. Just pick her up.
or fall on top of her.
Laugh inside your head.
Laugh inside of her.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we're very sensitive.
Yeah,
you
very
know?
sensitive.
We can laugh at you.
Absolutely, all day long.
Can't
Hey,
be
that's
reciprocated.
fine.
We're guys. We can't fuck up at all, right? We're supposed to be perfect in their mind.
Well,
You ever
that's-
notice that? Oh, never mind. But anyway,
I don't think so.
who did you pick? Jocko?
No, I picked Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Keanu Reeves. My bad. Okay, I picked Denzel Washington. I feel like I can learn so much from that man, and he's one of my favorite actors.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would pick James Gandolfini, but he died, so I can't.
Well, I mean, I guess we can still include people that passed away, right?
Can we do people that passed away?
You can pick whoever you want.
James
Yeah.
Gandolfini,
Yeah.
Tony Soprano. Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
you know this.
The
Don't
only
act
other
like
person-
surprised. We know each other. We know each other.
The only other
We know
person,
each other.
like, we know each other. Yes, yes. Is that what you wanted me to say? We are getting to know each other better. We know each other, but we're getting to know more because there's a lot more.
What's my favorite color, Carl?
Oh man,
Yeah,
Are you guys gonna make best friend charms? You guys could sell those too. You know, like
we could.
pod charms.
put me on the spot, man.
All right, where we at? Let's go.
Where we at? Where we at? Okay. Well, I think we're all warmed up here
Okay.
from these questions and all that stuff, which is good. That's what we needed.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
icebreakers.
Icebreakers warming up and all that stuff. So
You
what
warm?
we are? Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
You want more?
No, I said, are you warm?
I'm really warm. I need to start putting the air conditioning on or something like that. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, well, it's springtime, and what's going to happen is it's going to go from spring to summer, and I fucking hate summer. So,
Actually, it's going to go to this is like fall spring too. We're going to get snow.
Yeah, this is called Fool Spring.
we're getting snow soon.
Yeah.
We're going to get snow,
We're going to start doing a
and then it's
weather
going to go
forecast.
right into summer.
Yeah, we're gonna change things a little bit. Eventually, we're gonna do like a weather forecasting, sports news, and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
halftime shows.
Halftime shows.
All, It's all gonna be
Halftime
included.
shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and then we got the abs challenge. June.
Yeah, it's coming up
June 21st.
21st, man. It's
Yeah.
in my calendar and all that stuff.
What is this?
The abs challenge? We
Okay.
We have
We
to
had a
take our
challenge
shirts
against
off
each other.
on a
Oh.
podcast to see who
Has,
has the nicer body, pretty much.
oh, okay.
yeah, and we
Only
we
from
did
the
this-
waist up.
Right.
Yeah,
We did this from what was it? Back in November.
I don't know. Whenever we did
Is
it.
it just the two of you?
Yeah, it's just two of us. When was
Yeah.
it? Back in the winter time?
I think it was back in November or something like
Yeah.
that, and it was plenty of time.
Yeah,
Guess what? It was.
I haven't made
Wow.
any
it is now
progress since
at the
then.
end of March.
I mean, this is difficult because you
I'm-
guys were
I'm doing
both members of the month at your gym. So,
I know.
you know,
I'm doing pretty good. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good with my challenge. I'm
Yeah.
taking it up a notch.
Good.
I'm going to be soon working out with Connor 3 days a week.
Whoa.
this is crazy.
So, and me, I'm just by myself,
Okay.
crushing it.
I'm cheating. I'm cheating with Connor.
I don't think it's cheating.
Connor
I mean, you
is
can-
personal
you can.
trainer.
His personal trainer.
Okay.
You could work out with Connor. Yeah, I had him on
No,
the show.
I can't work out with Connor.
Yes.
Why not?
He's known you longer and probably likes you better.
He don't care,
He's
man.
emotionally connected to you and not me. So he wants you to win.
He's evil. He's evil,
So
man.
do you think he's gonna like
I did like calf
deter
races.
you from your progress?
He might.
Because I feel like you have an underlying general idea of what you need to do
Yeah,
to be
I do.
successful.
Right.
So like,
That's why I'm not drinking a Monster right now.
okay,
I drank one yesterday though.
right, okay.
Anyway.
baby steps.
Yeah. So yes, the ab challenge has come up, physical
Yeah.
fitness and all that stuff, which is good. But Jeanette is here is to talk about nutrition.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest part. Of
It sure
anything.
is because
Oh,
you know
today's
abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the cooking is bitching,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in great shape herself. You know what I'm saying?
I do care about my physical health.
You have
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
You're almost 40.
Thank you.
oh,
Thank you.
jeez.
I know,
38
just-
is almost 4. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I just dropped it on there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care.
Two things women hate: their age and their weight.
I actually don't. I don't care about getting older.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Aging doesn't bother me. I'm just not like.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm not into vanity. Who's
Right,
not?
right. Yeah.
But I think I can age gracefully. And
Yeah. Let's see if you
Yeah.
keep that same energy
Well-
when you get colon cancer.
Jesus.
Yeah, he
Say
is
that.
like.
Don't wish that upon
No,
anyone.
I'm just saying. I'm not wishing it on her. I'm just saying, like,
Well, see, that's
Well,
good because that's what I'm going to talk
exactly.
about. Is
Nutrition.
like how I'm not going to get colon
We're
cancer.
gonna-
Yeah.
the nutrition,
more
though,
prevalent in
a
your
lot of
age.
I have Crohn's disease.
a lot of this stuff comes from nutrition. What we're eating and what we're not eating, what we're not supposed to be eating, and all that stuff. And pretty much everyone is different, so everyone needs different nutrients, vitamins and minerals, and all that stuff.
You know, if you eat too much vagina, you get throat cancer.
Well, that's not true. They have to have HPV for you to get the throat cancer.
Michael Douglas.
Yes.
There you go.
Now,
she had HPV.
HPV. There's a high prevalence of HPV.
I think 80% of the population has HPV.
Yeah, and there's different versions of it. Not all carry the cancer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So don't stop eating vagina, Carl.
So, does the risk outweigh the benefit? That's what it's about.
I'm sorry.
Look, we're all going to die eventually.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Just
know
your partners.
Is it too much?
No, it's not at all.
Am I too much sometimes?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Let it out, man.
You want me to come here, so I'm going to talk about
I want you
stuff.
to come here.
I just want to say you're not actually eating vagina, by the way.
You can say whatever you want, man.
We're not cannibals.
Look,
Jesus Christ.
I don't want you to feel like I'm holding you back on anything. You can say whatever you want.
Thank you.
I might not play into it, though.
That's fine.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I will I will come back a little bit and all that stuff.
That's fine.
Give and take, man. Give and take.
All right.
I give you freedom, and I'm going to take the abuse.
Thanks for getting... All right.
The mental, emotional abuse I get from
Okay.
So, pretty much you are what you eat. Would you... Okay, all right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Ronnie's now checked out the building.
That's right. She was like...
You are what you eat.
Well,
that was your very next word.
Come on, man.
After I just said that?
Pull it together.
I'm a big old pussy.
Yeah, you definitely are what you eat. And I think that there is a very big misconception of like how food is converted to energy. And I think a lot of people eat the wrong things, not understanding how the body uses food. In particular, like what I really want to concentrate on is sugar and glucose and how that's converted in the body and how it, I mean, I'm not talking even specifically about losing weight. I think that's where the 90s and all the fad diets really threw people off. People hear metabolism and they think, how am I going to speed up my metabolism?
Yeah.
But really when you think about metabolism, you need to think about it's taking food and converting it into energy, and they're using that energy to power your cells, which powers your body. And all of that is intertwined into how you feel, your overall well-being, and then also like the benefits of how you look. So, but I think when people go onto these health kicks, the last thing they should be concerned about is how they look. And first they should be concerned about is how they feel and how their body. I can't even take. He's like, we're not in high school anymore. I need you to pay attention.
I'm listening.
This is how you're gonna get your abs. I didn't even listen. I'm listening.
I get blamed for everything. I didn't even do anything.
I didn't even say anything.
You were wandering. You were wandering off.
Sometimes I flew away.
Let him wander. Let him wander. Right here.
Yeah.
Focus.
Right.
So as you were talking about the three things that people look at when they
So like in probably the last 10 years, I feel like the whole carbohydrate has been villainized. And a lot of people don't eat carbs now, but they don't understand why they're not eating carbs.
But let's first
because they're told carbs are bad, and
let's first start this off. I am not a nutritionist or anything else like that.
Nor am I.
Nor are you.
This is a hobby.
So exactly. Why'd you pull your hand away?
No, go ahead.
Why'd you pull your hand away?
Go.
What, are you afraid?
You got smooth hands.
They're pretty rough, but anyway. But yeah, like I don't have like any type of scientific or medical advice. I can only tell you what I do for myself and yourself and yourself. For each of us, we all have different, body chemistry and all that stuff. And our systems are all different. This is just my perspective, her perspective, and his perspective of what we do and what we're actually trying to accomplish.
Right. And I just gather this information. I'm like a science nerd. I read a lot of evidence-based studies. And that's where I acquire from.
So don't take our words that we're going to be saying for the rest of the show, like to heart or anything like that.
Consult a physician.
Again,
you
exactly.
know, all those keywords.
What works for me doesn't work for you, or work for you, or work for you, and anything else like that. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to give out the information that we know and kind of researched with myself, you know, throughout life, the 41 years of my life, and trying to tell you what works for me, what hasn't worked for me, what things I've had to change throughout the years because my body chemistry changes every so many years. So that has an effect on my diet, as well as, you know, sleep and stress and working out, what I'm trying to accomplish and all that stuff. So all those things do play into a factor, which a lot of people don't really realize or think about.
Right.
Another thing as well, because like you said, a lot of times people tend to they eat like comfort food. They eat when they should be, or they eat when they're dehydrated, should be drinking, or so on and so forth. I mean, there's been proven studies that humans don't need food for like 30 days. Some could be probably longer than that. Some could be shorter than that. But it all depends on like being comfortable or uncomfortable in that situation of like, oh man, like my stomach hurts and I'm hungry. Or it's basically your mind telling you, oh, food. And we have such an ample supply of food.
Too
all
much.
Over the place.
Too much. Yeah. That's with food being processed. And that's like my whole thing is that, like, if you think of food on a cellular level, which a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah. So break it down.
Yeah. So everyone knows macronutrients. You know, you have your carbs, your fat, your protein, micronutrients, a lot of the electrolytes. And then when you're converting all of your food that you're eating into energy, a process called ATP, which uses like an anaerobic catatonic way of converting energy through the mitochondria, and that's how your body uses it. But there's certain things that you can eat that are cleaner, that convert that energy in a more efficient way, and your body stores it differently. And one of those things that has been argued is carbohydrates, because you know, there's sugar, there's fiber, protein, all of that stuff, but when you're converting sugar in particular into energy, known as glucose, because there's sucrose, fructose, and glucose. Glucose gets stored in the muscles. It also gets stored in the liver. But once that is overwhelmed, it gets stored in fat.
Gotcha.
Fructose, which is also terrible, some of that fructose does get converted to glucose, but most of it just gets converted right to fat. So that's where, if you're conscious of what you're eating, you can definitely sway your overall health and get abs.
Yeah. So but here's also another thing too. Yes, the macronutrients, you need to find out what your macros ratios are.
Yep.
And that needs to be adjusted constantly.
It does.
It all depends on what you're actually looking for. Like if there's a triathlon or athlete or someone that's just trying to get abs in the next, 2.5 months.
Right. And let me just preface, like, having abs is not the norm. It's easier for men, but women in particular, like, to have abs, it's not healthy.
Well,
I don't like women with abs.
For men and women, you're supposed to have a certain amount of fat percentage and all that stuff, because that's what it's, we're humans. Yeah. Especially women, your main thing is basically, having children and stuff.
Right.
So that's...
Well, yeah, and women just have a higher fat content. And so when they get to the point where abs are visible, you're almost teetering on your health.
There's quite a few fitness people that I follow, and some of them are women, and, because a lot of them are, they have nutrition backgrounds and all that stuff, and they kind of explain a lot of things. And a lot of them said that, when they were super lean, like... some things, weren't working, like their menstrual cycle and all that stuff stopped, and all the, health, their feeling and all this stuff, and mental health. That's another thing as well.
Yeah.
But as you were talking about carbohydrates, there's carbohydrates pretty much in everything. I'd have to say, like,
in a lot of stuff.
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables, but when you think about carbohydrates in particular in fruits and vegetables, and let's just say vegetables.
Yeah.
So fiber is part of being a carbohydrate. And there is far more fiber than the other carbs in a vegetable. And fiber is the one thing that when you eat it, your body doesn't break down. It's not going to be synthesized into a converted energy. So when you eat more fiber versus carbs, then it's not doing anything to you. It's almost like free calories almost. So you can't demonize. I don't want to say demon. It's a whole different category of vegetables. Now fruit. When you think about fruit, because there's a lot of sugar in fruit.
A lot of sugar in fruit, yes.
Okay.
And people say, oh, it's natural sugar.
And it is natural sugar.
But it's still sugar, though.
There's still sugar, but now this could like really spin off. Because if you think about like from hundreds of years ago, fruit then versus fruit now is completely different. Fruit back then was small, and you get into all the soil nutrients. Like,
And the foods... fruits and vegetables that are grown now, a lot of it is, pumped up to meet the needs. It's deficient
in the micronutrients, but it's more appealing, aesthetically.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, there is still, fiber, and how it is metabolized is very different than if you say you drink a smoothie. People love smoothies. They love them.
Absolutely.
But when you think about how much fruit intake is in a smoothie versus what you could actually eat on your own, it's an absorbent amount. Not to mention, when you pulverize that fruit, you change the process of how your body uses it.
It all depends on what you do. Like a lot of people do juicing.
Well, that's cold press. Cold press juicing is different versus pulverizing.
Well, to break it down, from what I believe, like smoothies, you actually get all the fiber and all that stuff added in there, to where when people do juices, they strip that fiber and all that stuff, and they mainly get like the sugar.
Well, you get a lot of the sugar and you're like not getting the skim, but
yes,
regardless of if I understand this correctly, anytime that you do any sort of manipulating of it, you're changing the process of how your body would metabolize it. A lot happens when you're chewing, and I guess you could argue that like using a blender is a lot like chewing, but you're also sticking an apple, a banana, an orange.
You're throwing a bunch of shit in.
A whole bunch of shit that you wouldn't eat that in one sitting, And then, I mean, I can speak for myself. If I drink my meal instead of eating it, I'm not satisfied. I'm going to eat something a little bit later.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely. Let's bring it back to the carbohydrates there, because carbohydrates, from what I believed, if you don't use the amount of carbohydrate intake that you use, it turns into sugar, which turns into fat. Is that correct? Or
essentially. So I think the big thing for me is that glucose, which comes from carbs, it comes from, also.
So the process, breaking down carbohydrates. I eat pasta, digest it in my system, and go from there. Break it down from there. Do you know that process or anything like that?
I know it. I vaguely know it. So it's like when a plant synthesizes, it turns it to starch. Well, a lot of the same thing happens when we eat it. So the second you start chewing a carbohydrate, it starts turning to sugar.
Okay.
And the problem with that is, if you don't need sugar, now your muscles, they utilize glucose. And so like 150-pound person can use like 400 milligrams of glucose within a day. After that, it gets put to the liver. And then like you would release glucose with your liver if you're going through stressful periods. After that, it turns to fat. But the big thing that happens is that when you have these great spikes or really low lows, you're causing cellular damage in your body, which causes things like inflammation. And inflammation is overall like how the whole disease process begins.
Yes,
like a damaged cell is a damaged cell, which leads to a damaged organ, and a damaged organ leads to an autoimmune disease or cancer. So it's all intertwined. I think that's where I don't want to say become frustrated, but I think people are always about, I want to look good. And
absolutely.
I'm like, but don't you want to feel good? Like, because when you feel good, everything. And even like, we were saying mental health is completely related to your diet.
Absolutely.
So
yes, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people too, I feel like they want that quick fix. So the McDonald's stop or the Wawa or,
right.
The quick and easy meal you throw in a microwave.
Yeah. And you can,
a lot of that food is like stripped of its nutrients
right.
and all that stuff because it's just mass produced to, fill the needs of,
right.
of how many billions of people there are here and all that stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is that you can be really skinny and look really good, but not be healthy. Yeah.
Yes.
So I always like to think of, or like, when I'm teaching my daughter, because I'm not like trying to get my daughter into fad diets and being skinny. I want her to actually understand nutrition and how to utilize it. That's gotta be
tough too, because being a girl, I guess growing up this day and age, like I guess their figures pretty much, they look at like supermodels and all that stuff and singers. And they look at, they idolize these people and they try to get that stigma in their head, like, oh, I can't be this or I can't be that. And other, kids are bullies too, man, in high school and all that stuff. And, they're all picking on each other. And all. It's horrible, man. It's tough being a kid nowadays.
It is.
Back in our days.
I mean, it was
it's
tough.
a lot easier. Meet him in the fucking parking lot, man.
Yeah.
And be fighting at the bike racks.
Kids today are very sensitive and weak.
It's tough.
But I think regardless, like whether it was our generation or their generation, they're never happy. You always want something different about yourself. And so, sure. I mean, that in itself is a catalyst that you're never going to get past.
What's something different
for
you
me
would like about yourself? Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, I discussed this with you. I always say I was an athlete for most of my life. I did gymnastics, and then I also played lacrosse and soccer. So I've always been very muscular. My arms they're just big. They've always been big. They're never not going to be big.
Yeah.
And
bring it up.
I always wanted, I do have big arms. I'm not doing that, but,
no flexing.
I always wanted little ballerina arms,
the picture for the thing. Bring them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we'll flex after this.
But that's the thing is that I have a very athletic build. I'm not going to change that. I'm never not.
No, that's your genetics and all that other thing. So on top of that, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'll never lose weight because of my genes and all that stuff." But you could pretty much
I don't buy it. Yeah, that's
combat your genes by the habits that you produce.
It's not
and
genes.
what
It's
you
a
eat.
habitual thing, and which is why you see there's so much obesity in children these days because basically we're raising them in a
lot of it is that quick, easy fix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
it's and not
nuggets,
nutritionally dense.
Chicken nuggets from McDonald's or the French fries, which all those are just pretty much empty calories.
Mm-hmm. That's so bad.
And that's so bad. That's the thing.
Right.
And a lot of us, from what I know, some of the studies I've read, even myself, zinc and magnesium deficient due to the foods that we don't eat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I take a zinc and magnesium pill and vitamin D3.
I will say, so if you think about micronutrients, magnesium being important because that's used for energy and the ATP process. But vitamin D, almost everyone's deficient in vitamin D.
Absolutely.
And that really comes from our lifestyles. If you really get down to the nitty gritty of us being cavemen and how we, used to be outside and.
Yes. A lot of us are inside. We're playing video games, watching movies or on our phones and all that stuff.
Right.
At work.
So.
Or at work.
I don't know, have you guys gotten into this whole grounding thing where just walking outside barefoot is supposed to be very good for you, which I do buy. Ronnie's face is I don't know.
I mean, I walk around my porch in my yard bare feet all the time.
I need to get in the soil, get off that 2x4 and get really, but I do believe in, the grounding and, and you're absorbing minerals.
We need to be more connected with nature and all that stuff as well because.
I think so too. That's why sometimes I'll go outside and go to the bathroom in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Number 2?
Whatever I have to do. I feel like every once in a while you need to do that.
Need to soil the earth.
No, you just need to go out there and remember where you came from. You know what I mean? So you don't get soft.
You ever?
It's nice that we could sit on a nice toilet, go to the bathroom, have our phones out.
That's.
But what would you do if you didn't have that, but you needed to use the bathroom? You know what I mean?
Absolutely true, and that's something that people should experience or whatnot. You know, should get out there, out of their comfort, and
go out back and just go to the bathroom in your yard.
You know what?
Well,
I'm good.
I go camping, and that's pretty
Right
good.
away, I'm the weirdo now, right? You were
No,
just
you're
talking about walking around barefoot and being
No, I
one
don't,
with the
I don't
soil.
think that you're weird. I just know that I am not going to be successful at doing that in like a very sanitary. It's not the same for girls anyway,
I
you know?
guys could just pull it out and go at any time.
Yeah,
what I mean?
like once I was at a concert and I had to go to the bathroom, very long line. My girlfriends were like, here's a water bottle. I said, I don't know. That seems like not enough. They're like, you're not going to fill it. I filled it. And I was like, now what? Like,
Yeah,
I got
a water
know?
bottle.
All right.
I feel like a female would have a hard time
So-
getting it in the water bottle.
it took a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
'Cause
30
you guys-
seconds of aim.
You guys spray like the best gun on the game Contra.
For sure.
Remember the video
Yeah.
game Contra? No?
Contra, yes.
Yeah, the best gun was the one that
The
sprays.
spreader.
Yeah, the spreader.
The spreader.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so on top of that,
Yeah.
myself personally.
Sorry, Carl.
No,
Once
it's okay.
again.
No, that's good, man. It's a good little break up there. I like
We're
your
going to
style.
break up if you don't get your shit together.
Oh man, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Here. But here's an even, I guess, finding the right foods, finding, I guess you want to call it a diet or anything like that, but consistently eating the right things that actually make you feel good and, fit in your calorie, I guess your calorie, I don't know what to say anymore. I'm losing it there.
Like your caloric goal. Because, everyone has a different caloric goal. And we know if we're trying to lose weight, we need to have a deficit
Yes.
of some sort.
being in a deficiency and all that
But,
stuff.
Yeah, I think that.
Or if you're trying to gain muscle, that's
Yeah,
another,
like the deficit doesn't. People have been extreme with the deficit, which is actually more damaging. It's good to eat. There's so many.
But eating the right foods.
The right foods, definitely.
And
Like you
eating-
need protein, and there's actually an order to eat foods. If you're trying to like maintain your glucose and lose weight, you should eat your fibers first. You should eat your protein second, and then if you're going to have carbs, you can do that. And then they even say there's studies that indicate that if you're going to have dessert, which of course we don't want you to have dessert, but if you're going to have it, you should have it right after your meal because you have all of that
So you won't
food
eat
that
that
it's
much.
breaking down.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, you're not going to eat it, but it's how you're breaking down the food to be utilized to kind of maintain that glucose level. Because in reality, like they say that you want your glucose, when people think of glucose, they think of diabetics. That's when it's bad.
Yes.
Type 1 autoimmune where you don't make insulin and type 2 where you're resistant. But really across the board, people should be monitoring their glucose on a daily basis. And when you eat food, a healthy range per guidelines is between 70 and 100. But when you actually read studies, you want it far less than that. You want it on the lower end of that. And anytime that you eat a meal, you don't want to raise it more than 30 points. So it's what foods are you going to be able to eat that are going to, and the process of eating them that are going to maintain that glucose for you.
Absolutely. So to throw a little thing out there, I believe, it might be expensive to buy the good quality food and stuff, but you're paying for it now as of, when you eat the shitty food or whatnot.
Right.
Later on, you're going to be paying for it,
Right.
and, your health and all that stuff.
And because I prep food every week, and I we all know groceries have gone up. It's just more expensive to be alive right
Yes,
now and eat
absolutely.
and survive. But when you think about the food that your quick fixes, like for instance, my daughter wanted McDonald's the other day. I don't often let her get it, but I broke on this day, and she got a cheeseburger meal with fries, and I think she got a milkshake. She was really going for it. And I think it cost me like almost $13, which back in the day, that was not the price that you paid for that.
Not at all.
But when you go to the grocery store and you actually buy the stuff to prep your food, and you can have
Way cheaper.
like way cheaper.
Yeah.
So
It just takes more time, and a lot of people are so busy.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time for this to
But-
do that.
I think that too is like part of, I have a very small palette of food that I eat. I eat the same stuff. I don't know about you guys. I eat the same stuff
I do
almost every day. And
For
I
the most
think,
part. I do change it up a little bit. I do have some things. That
like every once in a while, you're like, if I eat one more thing of ground turkey, I'm going to just lose my mind. So
Yeah.
you got to switch it up. But I think when you stick to that same spectrum of food, it's a lot easier to
to prepare, make, and all that stuff. Yeah,
versus,
absolutely.
you know.
So one of the things I had found about myself for the longest time due to like stress and all this stuff, I wasn't really absorbing the nutrients, you know,
Sure.
by digesting it and all that stuff. So I I've taken, you know, some probiotics as well as you know, aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, and all that stuff to try to, you know,
Right.
I guess help my gut lining, because a lot of that is, you know, the things that we're eating is fucking it up with the Monster Energy drinks and
Sure.
all those
Yeah.
chemicals and all that stuff.
And I think that brings up a really good point. Like your probiotics are so important. Gut bacteria, all of that really does influence your overall health. And I think that it's important for people. One, as a nurse, I can say, do not take antibiotics if you do not need them. A lot of people are so eager to take antibiotics, but you have to remember when you're taking an antibiotic, you're killing your good bacteria with your bad bacteria. So it's kind of like wiping your gut dry. And that good bacteria is so important to your overall health. And then, you know, the other thing is the absorption. Poor Ronnie and his IBS, which what happens is when you're eating food.
It's Crohn's.
IBS.
Yeah, same
Irritable
thing.
bowel
Well,
syndrome?
yes. Okay.
Well, IBS, Crohn's, colitis.
Yeah, it's all
like-
in the same
all in the
family.
same family.
And it's the permeability of your intestines. You're not absorbing food nutritionally like you should, and it's just sending you on a joyride. And it can go the other way too. Like you can get constipated. I don't know which one's better, but yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It depends.
So-
If I'm in a rush, I don't want to be constipated.
Well, yeah.
what I
And
mean?
that can be very painful too. I mean, I'm not saying yours isn't. I'm sure,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, being constipated and all that stuff. Talking about that, you have all this toxic waste inside of you, and that's making you feel sluggish and all that stuff.
Sure
and
is.
it's you know, all that toxicity in your body and all that stuff. That's pretty bad. And a lot of these foods that people are eating stay in your system for long periods of time. So
Yeah, all that processed food. I mean, things are so processed these days that it's just terrible.
So, what are some good carbohydrates that you would recommend? Somebody that is like an athlete.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so
Do you have anything to recommendation?
I mean,
that
there's a
for
lot
you?
of complex carbohydrates that people can eat.
So break it down from simple carbs to complex carbs.
Yeah, like so simple is going to be like your white sugars, starches, your white potatoes.
So white potatoes, white bread,
yeah,
all
white
that
bread,
stuff.
all that stuff, which is essentially it just
Simple.
is
So-
converted to glucose. And where you're more complex, it takes a little more to break it down. And I'm not saying that it doesn't convert to glucose. And I still think that even if you're eating complex carbs, it should be
Moderation.
in moderation. I definitely believe that there is truth in carbs being limited to your overall health. But things like, you know, brown rice,
Quinoa. I eat quinoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty good and high in fiber and all that stuff. That's a carbohydrate that I actually like, that I actually feel better on.
yeah.
So
And it's different for every person too. So that's the
Like
thing
I'm
is
saying for
that
myself,
you
yeah.
have to keep, I hate to be like that cheesy person, like keep a food diary,
well, no, you should
but
though.
you
but
really do need to log your food.
That'll-
And yeah.
that'll help. And a lot of things, I don't really promote too many apps, but there is was it Carb Manager? There's an app to where it's really easy for you to like pull it up. You could scan the barcode, and it'll pull up all for majority of everything. It pulls up the nutritional facts in there, and you can kind of break it down, and it'll break it down with your macronutrients and all that stuff. It is a free app, but you can like pay for it and get a whole bunch of other different bells and whistles to that and all that stuff. But just the free thing, man, and that's so simple because we always have our phones on us.
Right.
You could pretty much input anything. There's a lot of like name brand, like, you know, Outback Steakhouse and all that stuff. Like you can Google all that stuff in there, and you can put all that stuff in there, and it'll break it down. Just being aware of how many calories you're actually eating.
Yeah.
And what you're actually eating. You know, a lot of people aren't too, I guess, informative of what they're actually eating and what's in it. Like,
Yeah.
broccoli having carbohydrates and all that stuff. And as you broke it down for all that stuff for the sugars and your glucose.
Right.
Pretty
Like, I think if you're not reading labels, you're doing yourself a big disservice.
But how often can those things be truthful? Number one. Number two.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely words that they use that I guess make you feel like they're healthier than they are.
I guess so. The scientific words and all that stuff.
So, they're good at.
So you'd really want to look at the foods that you're eating being more whole food.
Right. And
less ingredients.
So
the
like
better.
if you're going grocery shopping and you're not spending 90% of your time on the outside perimeter of that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The outside perimeter.
You have to stay on that outside perimeter. If you're going into the aisles too often, then I can guarantee that your diet can be changed to make you feel better, make you look better, and make you think better, and that's what it comes down to.
But it all takes time too. So it's not something that it's like, I ate this salad. Smarter now. I lost weight. No. It
Right.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of people do.
Well, everyone wants a quick fix, and that's just not how nutrition works.
Yes.
Or even exercising.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is people get deterred because
and then they end up quitting.
Right.
They end up quitting because this diet, they're like, oh, this diet's not working.
Right.
It's only been a week.
They go too extreme. You don't have to be extreme. You don't have to be extreme with not eating or exercising.
Just make small little choices of portion size.
Right.
Just there alone.
Yeah.
Portion size. Still eat that. I don't care if you eat that McDonald's, but don't eat the double Big Mac. Eat something smaller or eat half of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, drink more water. We're very dehydrated. And if you were to drink.
Oh my God.
Like,
I can go on a whole tantrum about water because it drives me crazy. I drink so much water.
I do too.
It's so important because I even tell when I'm like with a patient, like, your blood is water.
That's how it circulates and all that stuff, your nutrition and everything as well.
And, but my thing is people be like, oh, well, when I drink too much water, I pee. Well, yes, because your body has to get used to it like anything else. You can't go from drinking 2 sips of water a day to 2 gallons and think that your body's going to be like, oh, okay, this is normal. Like, you have to slowly integrate it. But no matter what, like, water, hands down, is the most important thing you can do for yourself across the board.
Absolutely.
The worst thing, soda, Monster drinks, like all of that stuff. Stop it.
She just judged the shit out of me now.
I'm glad you didn't bring one. Otherwise, she'd really be judging you.
Yeah, I didn't bring one.
It's terrible. I mean, just like.
But a lot of people look at it now. That also goes into how you feel and the caffeine and all that stuff that people are.
Okay, and I get it because you're getting that glucose high.
Is coffee okay?
So coffee
in moderation,
depending on what you're drinking in your coffee.
Yeah.
It's completely different than those high content of sugar and calorically
like
dense.
the frappuccinos and all that stuff. Like, myself,
that's not good.
I conditioned myself to drink just black coffee.
Right.
For the longest time, it was just like black coffee and sugar, and then I got away from that, and then it was like just like black coffee and creamer because there's sugar in creamer, which people don't count for.
Yeah.
And then it just became black coffee because I just enjoyed it. But then it was just too much caffeine and I was fucking myself up. And then big time. And then I got off of caffeine and I withdrawals from it.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
And that's the other thing too, is like, I mean, there's so many integral parts, but like when I think about you being over caffeinated and then I think about you having the Crohn's, and all coffee is not made the same, people. So we have there's
a sensitivity and all that stuff. So
there's coffees that are more alkaline that will really tear your stomach apart.
That's another thing too. So alkaline,
I drink Death Wish coffee.
Yeah, well,
I did
really
that too,
good.
That's probably why you're shitting your brains out.
Hey, but that's good. You need to shit your brains out sometimes. I mean, you need to get all that toxic.
Yeah. I feel like it's actually Crohn's is good for me.
Yeah.
It makes me eat better and I don't hold things in long except my emotions.
Right.
Very emotional
what
baggage.
Do you like? Because there's a lot of studies that are still being back for Crohn's and IBS. So, and it's not the same. So, what do you find works for you? Like,
what does work for
you?
Well,
when I don't have,
Is this working for you right now?
Yeah, it is.
You're on the spot.
Oh.
A lot of clenching. A lot of clenching.
When I don't have a flare up, when I don't have a flare up, a lot of clenching because it's so true. Yeah, like the real clench where you start to sweat and shit. Yeah.
You're like, gotta get home.
Oh my God. You ever have that happen like mid drive?
Yeah, something's like that happened, and I know I'm like, oh man, either like something I ate was bad.
You just got to keep toilet paper in your car.
It's got to go.
I do. I got to roll in there right now.
You just
Good.
pull over
Well,
and get out, or just...
I mean, if I have to, I try to
Shit
hold it
in
as
the
much as
woods.
possible,
Yeah.
but there's been times where I had to be a man
Hey,
and be
you gotta
one
do what
with
you gotta do,
nature.
man.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So when I have a flare up, I stay away from what they call like roughages, potato chips, salad, things that are hard to digest, things that don't digest. You know what I mean?
Like corn.
Right. The obvious, Captain Obvious over here.
I don't eat corn.
So anyway, all right. So there's foods that when you have inflammation or a flare up in your intestines, colon, whatever, any food that is rough, it's like literally like scraping your nails on a wound,
That's
right?
gotta be agonizing.
Oh, the pain is crazy. So like, you have to stay away from those things until your stomach calms down.
So what?
Right. So when I have a flare up, I eat a lot of, I drink protein shakes. I drink a lot of Ensure, mashed potatoes, yogurt.
Okay.
Pretty much, it's not a liquid diet. It's just a soft diet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'll do that for a couple of days until it calms down, because you pretty much have to heal it in order for it to get better. You can't really you can't, like they say, don't pick a scab.
Yeah,
Same exact
it'll never
thing.
heal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to just leave it alone as much. That's why, if the times when I did have a bad flare up and I was in the hospital for it, it was a straight liquid diet for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right. And then you slowly start to step it up.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's a certain food that triggers it, because there's still so much that they don't know about it.
Yeah, there's so
I'm sure
much.
stress, all
Yeah.
these things.
So
have
think
an
about
effect
what
on it.
normally makes your stomach upset: stress, anxiety, Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Think foods that are heavy with grease and fat and stuff like that. That can send a normal person into like, a upset stomach, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, somebody with a stomach issue like me, it's just worse, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to be mindful of those things and how your stomach feels and whatever. But I mean, you are forced to eat a little better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have a condition. So
Yeah,
now you're
absolutely.
like, it's like when one of your legs is hurt, you're putting more weight on the other one.
Yeah.
If that makes
That's
sense.
my right side's falling apart.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
it's
had
all
a
right.
stroke.
I'm older now.
You said you got a stroke, right?
Yes.
Stroke. I don't know why that's funny. That's a neat.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, is that, and you were saying you can really survive a very long time without food. And I'm not advocating don't eat food. But
Yes. You need to figure out.
if there is like a disease process going on, I've read that, people have not eaten, allowing their cells to replenish and heal.
Mhm.
So
Yes. Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I do believe that. So I do intermittently fast, if you want to call it.
Right.
That's a fad diet or whatever. But
No,
at the
it's
same
not.
time,
Yeah, it's proven. Not a
Yes.
fad.
Mark Wahlberg, who I follow, his whole entire social media is about pretty much his health and
and all that
fitness.
stuff. Yeah.
He's doing the fasting thing, and I try to follow anything he does as far as health and fitness, because he seems to have it completely locked in.
Right.
So does Mark
You know what I
Wahlberg
mean?
have a trainer?
I mean, he
Does
works
he?
out
He
with
is the trainer.
He is, but he also works out with multiple people
I got you.
who are like,
So do you need someone to help work you
Me?
out?
no, like,
So like Connor can help
no,
you work
and nothing
out.
against Connor,
I
and
could
I
be your
love,
personal trainer.
I love.
Hey, there you go.
Bounce, wow, wow. Just kidding. So
Brown
like,
chicken, brown cow.
wow. No, I don't need a trainer, because I feel as though,
He has Shane Fonda, Tybo.
no,
Hey.
no. So like, nothing
Yoga
against.
booty ballet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
I can't remember that guy's name, but oh man.
With
Dude, I'm
Tony
gonna send you
Little.
some of those
Tony
funny,
Little.
Tony Little.
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
like early late night workout
Today,
videos.
these days, you really don't need a trainer, and nothing against actual trainers. Nothing
Yeah.
like a one-on-one in-person thing,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But if you can't do that, like I have the Beachbody app, right? and there's a lot of trainers on there.
Absolutely.
One of them, it's called The Beast. He's a really cool guy, really funny. And I was following his workout program for a little bit, and I was seeing a lot of results.
Yeah, I do the same programs.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm on that Lift one right now, the Lift 4.
Okay.
Yeah, do that one. But I love Beachbody.
Beachbody's great.
Or it's just called Body now.
Yeah.
BODI.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit. But and I'm not saying people that need a personal trainer are weak.
Like me. Oh, I need one.
No,
I am weak.
No, it's
and he's helping me to get stronger.
And that's right.
To be honest with you,
there's nothing wrong with asking for a little bit of help. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a time where you don't need Connor, and you're going to have it all figured out on your own.
Nah, I'll never figure it out.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Well, no, I'll never figure it out. Well,
that's depressing, man.
If I were to have a consistent workout partner with me to go to the gym and everything, I don't think I would need a trainer.
You know, that's funny because we work the same schedule.
Same schedule.
I ask you all the time if you would like to work out with me. And when
you work out in the middle of the night. You're like a vampire.
So when do you like to work out? Like early morning?
I work out first thing in the morning. I wake up and like I've now gotten into a routine, and that's another thing too. Like having a routine and schedule and all that stuff. Kind of like being consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency is key.
I got you.
So okay, actually, so when I was in college, I had this great professor, Dr. Gilbert. He was such a nice man, but he swore that if you're gonna work out, not like that.
Did you get A's?
I got all A's in his class.
Dr. Gilbert?
I got all A's in all my classes.
His name was
guys.
Dr. Gilbert?
Dr. Gilbert. Yeah.
Shout out to Fred.
Yeah.
Freddie.
Call him doctor from now on.
But he swore, first of all, two things he said: that stress was the root of all disease.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
we stress ourselves out so much.
And two, if you're going to work out, do it every day. Don't take a day off, because that consistency is way more easy to maintain if you don't take a day off.
Absolutely. And just do something. It just takes 30 seconds to do push-ups.
I mean, even walking. I mean,
even
walking.
Going for a walk. But that's another thing. Be out in nature. Get off your phone.
Right.
We just did a show with Gina and her daughter, Kaylin, and we talked about social media. There is a movie on Netflix that we talked about was Social Dilemma. Rennie, he suggested that movie.
Yeah.
And it's an eye-opener, man. And it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the side effects of social media on the brain and
the dopamine levels and all that stuff. So that pleasure factor and all that, that's all changed and everything's altered.
And even the blue light, that's supposed to really influence your health.
Why people can't go to sleep at night, because there's too much blue light and they're, getting those dopamine fixes while they're watching their phone and it falls on their face.
That's why I only use black lights,
Yeah.
All that stuff,
It's lava lamps really set the mood.
Lava lamps are great. That's what we need in here. We need a lava lamp.
It's a 90s thing.
Yeah.
My brother had a lava lamp.
Oh, I missed the 90s. That's another show. Though. We'll save that for another show.
Throwback to the 90s.
Actually, Josh is supposed to have a 90. He said he was supposed to have this whole bunch of topics and all 90s topics.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be real fun.
But all right. So before we wrap this up, do you have any final words, final thoughts, or anything like that? About nutritional.
Well, my biggest thing is to actually, be
conscious of what you're eating,
definitely
right?
Conscious of what you're eating. To try to cut back all the processed food, stay out of those center aisles.
Go to the Whole Foods more.
Right.
Eat more whole foods. That's pretty much going to, help process,
eat more
your body's
protein
gonna digest
and definitely start your day. Like a lot of people eat a really light breakfast. But if you think about your body as a vehicle and you're fueling it up, like you're not going to go on your ride and fuel it up at night after you want to fuel it up in the morning before you actually take the car out for a spin. Because I don't care. You could put Starry Night Lights in there, but if there ain't...
and everyone
if there ain't fuel in the tank...
I wait till you see those starry headline lights.
All right.
They're amazing.
I'm sure.
It'll be like looking up into space.
But like myself, I'll eat my first meal like 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock. It all depends on what's going on. My schedule, workout schedule, and all that stuff. So I'll eat like 12 first meal. Normally it's breakfast. I'm a big fan of breakfast. So eggs and, like chicken sausages or turkey bacon or something like that. And then like I'll have a dinner meal and all that stuff. Be like some type of fish or some type of protein or something like that with some greens. But then after that, I'll fast all night.
And that's great because let me tell you, like, so, they say like, hey, you should have 6 small meals a day. But that's not necessarily true, nor is that good for you because what it's not allowing is for cellular recovery. Like you shouldn't always be metabolizing food throughout the day. And a good indication of if your glucose is within norms is if you aren't having those hunger cravings, if you could go those long periods without food, which is what you want, we ate way more food than we need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then that's better for you. So like generally I'll eat my breakfast in the morning, but then I might not eat lunch. And I generally don't like to eat lunch because then I feel sluggish.
Yeah.
So because I work overnight, I mean, I have my dinner sometimes at like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. But then I try not to eat again until the next afternoon when I wake up. So,
I gotcha.
And that's where water is so important. Fills you up.
Yeah.
Makes you, not hangry. Absolutely. So, yeah. So
be more conscious of what you're eating, look at the labels and all that stuff. And just, portion control and all that. Because a lot of us, the American portion is ridiculous. If you were to go to different countries and everything, their sizes and all that stuff are completely different. Yeah. And if you were to read the labels too, the serving size on some of that stuff that you're eating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. Just, look into that if you're interested in all that.
And then after you eat, just like get up and walk
take a walk.
3 minutes at a time is still going to help you. Like just
moving around,
move around.
Get that help work that digestion. Drink plenty of fluids, drink nice clear water and all that stuff.
I actually like going for walks after I eat.
Yeah. So there is an evidence-based study. So like if they did a thing where people walk for 60 minutes, but they broke it up into different increments, and it showed that people who walked for 3 minutes at a time throughout the day for 60 minutes, for someone who walked like 20 minutes, or 60 minutes, that 3 minutes had a better effect on their overall health than that very compacted.
That one compacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a thing. A lot of us in our work schedule and lives and all that stuff, we're sitting down, and sitting is probably like the worst thing the human body can do.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother episode and all that stuff.
We could do a whole spin-off on this stuff. Yeah.
And this has been very good, very informative, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. Just a little insight for all three of us, all three different people here, in the foods that we eat or whatnot. And just take a little bit time and take care of yourself and eat the right things and keep it moving and all that stuff. Ronnie, you got anything?
Be nice to old people because we will be old one day.
We're halfway there.
Yeah.
Depends on what your half is. I'm over the hill already.
Right.
I don't think I'm gonna
40 is the new
longer.
30.
41, man.
Yeah. Well, say 40. It's
you're as old as you feel, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yep. No, just want to wish everyone happy spring.
Happy fall spring.
Yeah. And if there's anything that you guys would like to talk to us about, let us know. Reach out.
Write something in the
You
comments.
can call their hotline.
Yeah, call the hotline. We're gonna have merch. We're gonna do all this stuff. We are just getting started in this little journey. Okay, you have to test the waters a little. You put some shows out. You see what people like, what they dislike, and we keep it moving.
Like some weird stuff, man.
Yeah, and that's fine. And there's a platform for every topic out there.
Yes, and different people on the show bring different subjects and different atmosphere of the show.
Like I had no idea you were that smart. I'm not saying you were dumb. You don't give off dumb vibes, but you knew a lot of stuff about nutrition that I wasn't aware that you knew.
I know a lot. And honestly, I could probably do 12 more shows because I'm a nerd. I just love science.
Perfect. Nerd. Yeah. We're going to get you on a show more often, nerd.
Yeah.
Yep. I love science.
I need to learn.
We got to talk about like space and stuff too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We want to...
What's out there?
You could all do like dioramas,
Yeah,
come up with a space diorama.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's the thing. When I have someone on the show more often, they're more comfortable, so we could get into some deeper topics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people come on for the first time, it's like it's real shallow.
Yeah.
We're just like breaking the ice with a lot of things. So
Right.
when I have people on here like Josh, he's been on here quite a few times, yourself, we could get into these deeper things because we know more about each other.
Right.
You're comfortable in front of the camera.
Listen, if you guys want me to come back for the ab challenge, I might win. I'm just saying.
June 21st. Can you have abs by June 21st?
I could maybe.
She has abs right now.
I have 2 abs. I have to get the rest of them.
Okay.
This is going to be difficult because all I want to do is smoke weed and eat junk food.
Don't eat junk food, man.
What am I supposed to do? Smoke weed and eat a salad?
Eat protein.
As long as you don't have a flare up.
Weed is actually helping me with my flare-ups.
Yeah.
Well, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He talked about smoking weed and all that stuff. And that
it
boosts
helps.
your metabolism.
A lot of people smoke weed before they work out.
Eat the right foods. Though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But you want to eat them chips and all that
I
stuff.
do love the chips. I love the hot fries. I'm a fan of, Ben and Jerry's ice cream and stuff like that. But who isn't?
Right.
You know
all
what I
that
mean?
crappy stuff, man. But it gets you.
What are you going to do?
It gets you. It gets me too, man. Sometimes.
Moderation. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Too much of something
Gluttony,
is bad.
Nobody,
Right.
Right back to that Bible.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully you guys like the show. You enjoyed this information. You got something out of it. Write something down in the comments if how you feel about this or whatnot. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to come on the show, reach out to any one of us. Love to have you sitting in one of these seats and share your story and talk about whatever you feel like talking about. Other than that, hopefully you have a great day. Thank you very much.